Roll call. Oh, Chairman Bell,
Are we recording closed session?
we are recording in closed session now.
Aye.
Supervisors Shea.
Aye.
Whitman. Aye. Schultz. Aye. And Groby.
Aye.
Okay, now we are recording in closed session.
Brian
Yep.
Shea,
Justin Schultz, sorry.
Lynn Grovey,
Melvin Hauser.
Mark Schmicker,
Ben Wilbur.
Mitch Kai.
Brian Shea.
Tim Wickman.
Scott Bell.
Alrighty, hot off the press. Sorry I didn't get this to you earlier, but since I just got them, all final documents emailed to me about an hour ago or two, you've got them. So this is the final purchase agreement on the front, and then behind the last 5 pages or so are the, or maybe less, yeah, probably 5, are the lease of the property so that Fleischer can continue to use the property during this next year's ski season. So, I mean, I don't think it's real controversial, as long, it was hard to go through, but pretty much the concerns, I had forwarded this off to Mark and Jeff. They had some concerns, some of those I had shared, some of them I had concerns of my own. Deb pretty well addressed every single one of them that we raised. The one sort of, I guess, controversial, semi-controversial, non-controversial, the one issue that I had that was sort of a, they were not really wanting to change, is that this purchase agreement has Fleischer having a 2-year right of refusal if we decide to have the property managed by somebody else. So basically,
Does that include this year?
no, this is after these two. That's after this year.
So we're talking the same language, I think, but, so we're talking this season. This year's about over.
He's gonna run it
No,
this
we
season.
haven't even started.
Pardon?
It would have been a total of 3 years if you included this season. 2
No,
years.
I'm, just so that we're clear, he's running it this season.
Yes.
Which this season is, I thought was scheduled to be through April 1.
Well, I don't think they ever know when it's gonna be done. The lease goes through June 30th, so it really basically goes to the end of the fiscal year. That
Okay.
he's got a right, so
So he's there until July 31st.
June 30th. Yep.
Okay,
I'm not saying he couldn't vacate it earlier, but that's the term that he's allowed to be there. That is called the post-closing occupancy period. And that's the subject of the lease, is just through June. After that, if we elect to have it managed by anybody else, he wants the right to match that contract. You're not required to go with him, but you would be required to go with him if he can match it, and you choose to do that. So, yes, Brian?
Do we take possession of the homes right away?
No, they're part of this, and that was one of the issues we talked about today, because I'm like, why do the homes need to be included? My understanding is that, A, he's got a bunch of stuff in them, is one, but I think he's got some crews that come in and work, not all the time, but stay overnight there multiple times while they're making snow and doing those, and so it's sort of used as a bunkhouse of sorts, I think, for employees or, folks that are doing that, so.
so the homes we get June 30th too? So everything at the end of June is ours?
Yep.
But we pay him now.
We pay him now, he runs it now. He's required to keep everything supposedly in good working order. If there's any repairs less than $3,000, he's required to make those through his period of time. If there's anything major, like if a roof, obviously he's got insurance, so if there's an issue that required that. But any major repairs, he is not required to make. That's subject to discussion back and forth with folks.
Why wouldn't his insurance cover those?
That's what I said, it would, but if there was something.
With us, right?
If the roof blows off in a tornado, the insurance is gonna cover it. If the water heater breaks and that costs $5,000 to fix, he's not gonna fix it. I mean, that's not covered by insurance, so.
That's gonna be us
So it would be us.
for 2,000 or? for
Major
5?
repairs, $3,000, any major repairs from now on would be ours. Any minor maintenance repairs, all of those things are his.
Yeah, but I'm just, you said 3,000, anything 3,000 and below he pays
Yep.
for?
That's my
You don't pay
recollection
like
of that.
the first 3,000.
Now, June 30th, they'll have everything off that property, like all those junk vehicles, all that crap sitting behind there.
Supposed to.
What recourse do we have if he does not? Are we holding some back in escrow?
There's no provision in this to do that, no.
I just worry about this guy.
I don't, I really don't. I think he's gonna hold up his end of the bargain. I also believe that he's gonna get his money and not go back. I think he's doing this because he wanted to appease his wife. The other thing is that even though we gotta give him first right of refusal after 2 years, we also don't have to open the ski hill if we don't want to. And the other thing is, we are not prepared, no matter how much you think you are not prepared to open that ski hill even next year. And that's just the reality, we're not there. So we don't have employees for that, we don't have even probably a funding stream right now to even pay for something like that. So personally, it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, he's leasing it back to us and paying us, it's a return on our investment no matter what.
So next year, he will lease this from us.
He'll have the opportunity to lease it back. So let's say we go out to bid and we say, hey, we want Ski Hill Company to come in here and lease it. Ski Hill Company from Sioux City comes down and says, we're gonna give you $100,000 a year to do this. Corby has the opportunity to say, well, I'm gonna give you $100,001 and I'm gonna lease it.
No, it says match, right?
Right. Well, yeah, but yeah, you've got to give him the same terms, I think.
And I'm okay with that,
And I
because I
don't-
really think the ski hills ought to be running for continuity.
Totally agree. I just
Okay.
don't think we're in a
The next thing I think, I just wanna know how the hell he's got a lot of shit up there. And I mean, he's got some shit up there. It looks like a junkyard.
I think Matt Wyant's used to hauling crap off.
I can't hear you.
I think Matt Wyant is used to getting crap hauled off.
Well, I've been to Matt Wyatt a couple times in the last year and asked him about what do we do at that junkyard? And it's still there. So I'm not talking bad about Matt or nothing, but I need to know what we do as a legal recourse. Cause I have a feeling, and I don't want that to be a stipulation, I'm just putting my feelings out there about this crap that's up there.
I'd say
'cause-
short of it, like contaminating the soil or something. I
No,
don't-
but there's a lot of junk vehicles up there.
So they're become ours and we just scrap them and get
I
money out.
don't wanna do that.
That's
Why not?
exactly right, you know, it's a junkyard, if he doesn't take it, all Mark has to do is make a call to somebody and say, hey, you wanna come and get
Alters
this
come
shit?
pick that shit up. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't care about that.
Now, sure, if he's contaminated soil and like poisoned the wells, then yeah,
No,
we
no,
need to go
no,
after
no.
him, but that's
We ain't
something.
talking none of that. I just want shit out of there. That's what I want. And same with the houses, cause I have a feeling like that dog kennel, that's gonna be full of crap. I just wanna push him that way. This ain't a deal stopper or nothing. I'm voicing my concerns. And I wanna make him follow through. That's all.
Well, I mean, I could certainly reach out to Deb and just pass that on. I mean, at this point, it's a little late for me to amend the agreement.
And I don't want you to
It's
amend
just a
it.
gentleman's agreement. I think
I
we,
do,
you know,
I do, but I think.
same with him, gentleman agreeing back to us, asking us not to have the Arctic Ski Patrol or whatever the hell they're called. Fine, you know, like, I don't really care. They can change their name and be there and it's, you know.
From what I understand, they're not gonna be up there anyway.
Not until he's gone.
Matt, I have, 4 questions
Cool.
for you.
Cool.
The $130,000 earnest deposit,
Yes.
now, it says, if the agreement is terminated, it's non-refundable to us, right? Non-refundable, the earnest money shall be non-refundable to the buyer, which is us. So if he terminates the agreement, he's not keeping the $130,000.
If he yeah, let me take a look at where,
I'm
what
sorry,
page?
Matt, that is in,
Page four.
Page 4.
Page 4, number 5, it's the first earnest money, paragraph there.
Yeah, I mean, so the last sentence of that is, it's non-refundable unless he defaults. If we default, if we back out of it, he keeps the 130. If he backs out of it, then it's refundable.
Okay,
Okay.
except as expressly set forth in this agreement. Does it reference it somewhere else?
I don't think it probably does, but I mean, not that I recall. I mean, that's 25 pages.
I don't think anything's gonna happen, just wanted to clear that up.
But-
You mentioned, we don't actually take ownership until June 30th.
No. We take ownership end of the year. I mean, this contemplates that we pay the escrow. I mean, honestly, you about have to have the whole thing. I think that we pay the 130 within 2 days. We pay the balance by the end of the year, December 31st. That's the closing.
Okay.
And then it's our property. Then there's, the second document here is a lease. So he is then basically leasing it back from us. No rent. His rent is that he's paying all the cost of operation through June 30th. So we will own the property and we will become landlord. He will become tenant
Where did the June 30th come in?
for 6 months. That was just, I think, the date that they picked. They just said, you never know.
Shit, the ski season's over in March.
Yes, it is.
He'll probably be
It's
out.
very rare if it goes to March 5th, very rare.
I don't think he's gonna sit there and play games with us, cause he wants to come back. I mean, the reality is, if he wants to come back and he's an asshole to us, then we're gonna be an asshole to him. So, I mean, we've got 2 years to do that now.
Yeah, I don't think that I mean, can that be looked at, June 30th?
I could look at it. I mean, I'm just saying, the only issue that I've got is that, you know, she's not gonna have time. I mean, if I call Deb and say, hey, we really think this ought to be May 1st,
March
you know, or
30th,
whatever.
Or April 1st.
you know, then she's gonna say, okay, fine, let me call Corby, I'll find out. Then if that's not a problem, then she amends it. You know, I'm just saying, we're not gonna be able to get it done today.
Honestly, what difference does it make? I'm just curious.
Well, then he has, authority to be on that property
So we,
until June 30th. No, we're leasing it to him.
yeah, that doesn't mean we can't be on there.
Well,
All we gotta do is find out a violation. I'm just saying, sign the agreement, we can be assholes later. Like, we can find a way out of this. We can find a way to.
I mean, that's not how it works. I mean,
Well,
you know,
I
June
mean,
30th.
he hasn't said this, but I mean, I would assume if there's as much crap that's on that property as, you know, you think, he's gonna take some time to need to get that all off. And if you say April 1, it's done, I mean, there's no way that's gonna happen in the middle of ski season. So this gives him a couple of months to get sort of all of his stuff squared
What's your
away.
opinion, Mark?
I'd rather have him get rid of some of the crap than us, so
I would too.
if we can give him some time to do that, I'm okay with that. If that's what
We
it,
take possession of the homes now.
They're part of the lease. They are part of the lease. That's all of this, the entire property. We basically are just paying for it and becoming landlords for the next 6 months, 7
For
months.
free.
it just, as much as like, I feel like I'm kind of on the same page in some ways on this, except for the fact that the reality is that we are not going to do anything, even if we got them sooner. So if we got possession is April 1st, or April 30th, whatever, we as a county are literally not gonna do anything. We don't have the time, manpower, assets to mess with that right now. We just don't. We need to get a study done, so whether it's April or May,
Are we-
June, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Are we geared to do some things
as far as the
this
study,
spring?
yes. To figure out what
Okay,
we
here's
are
the
gonna do up
question.
there.
We want to start the study right away, correct?
We can do that, yeah.
We have the ability to do this without him denying us anything, correct?
The lease requires that we have to give him 48 hours notice before we enter the property. Unless it's an emergency, then we can go on. I mean, I guess normally, like I've been in an apartment, it's been a long time since I've been in an apartment, but it said landlord shall not enter for 24 hours unless there's an emergency. So I don't know that I care
So
that much about it, but
hypothetically, let's just say we close on the 31st and there's something majorly wrong with the lift. So we're out another, whatever, 50,000 to get the lift back going.
well, it's inspected every year, and that's my understanding. And I think Deb still has to send us the formal reports, but I talked to her today because part of this is supposed to have inspection reports attached. And I said, I still haven't had those in my hand.
No, but I'm just saying,
We don't have to fix it.
Yeah, we do have to fix it, right?
We don't have to be in the ski business.
We're guaranteeing him this season, I thought.
We're guaranteeing him access. I don't know that we have to make it all.
I thought you said anything over $3,000
Let me take a look
we
at
have to fix.
Should we decide to fix it, it's our decision if we want it to be operational or not, unless it's like something that has to be to.
You know,
Safety.
well, that's the second question, the safety piece.
If that lift breaks down, that could be a $50,000 fix.
He's got the
We don't have to
liability.
fix it. That's
No,
what we don't have to.
Liability.
No, I want
Ski
to,
season's over.
Exactly.
You wanna lease it next year? Get on it and fix it. We're not
Exactly right.
fixing it.
no, well, we got
Let
anything
Matt
over
look that over.
3,000, I thought he said we had to fix. So I'm trying to,
Mark, is our study ready to go? Have you got those people ready to go?
Yeah, we've identified people to do a study.
Okay.
It's probably gonna take like 6 months probably to do a study.
University?
No, it'd be a separate, different company.
Okay. That's the 100,000 we have set aside.
Iowa West, yeah.
So Matt.
Paragraph, go ahead.
Go.
Paragraph 33 covers really everything, and honestly, it's the same language that's in the lease as far as the operation of this ski season. So yes, if it costs more than $3,000, it says, during the post-closing occupancy period, Double Diamond will continue to maintain the business assets at its expense in good working condition, provided, however, Double Diamond shall not be required to incur any expense in excess of $3,000 in order to maintain, repair, or replace any individual business asset beyond what is budgeted for the ordinary course of business for the upcoming ski season or what has routinely been expended in past seasons. If they become aware of an expense that'll exceed that amount, they'll promptly notify us. The parties will work in good faith to agree on the terms of any such repair and expense to be incurred. However, if any expense is necessary, either as a health, safety measure, emergency, or in order to keep the business in operation, Double Diamond is authorized to incur such expense on behalf of buyer, whether it exceeds the amount, and then the buyer will immediately pay such expense. So if the ski lift broke down, right.
And we got a $50,000 bill, he goes, do it, and we gotta pay.
That's pretty much what it says.
And if he's got a snowmobile that crashes,
And we're not paying for no snow.
well, you can say that, but this wording in
Doesn't have
there
anything
says
to
we
do with the
do.
operation of the business.
They are.
Matt,
They
the,
use them daily.
the houses, the homes, they're included in the lease that he just totally uses. Is that for 3 years?
No,
That's just for this?
6 months. June 30th.
June 30th, then they become ours.
Yep.
All of it.
Those would never be part of the right of refusal or right to go back. I mean, those aren't part of that at all.
They use them for buck.
He uses them for bucket, yeah, but those aren't part of the, unless you were going to, I suppose, if you give terms to somebody that said, we want you to be the concessionaire for this, and part of that includes the use of these houses, you'd have to offer it on the same terms.
What
That's
is our
the,
intention on the houses?
Well, prior to probably 2020, he was renting those out, had tenants in there. So I think you probably continue that until you figure out what exactly you want to do with it. If you want to parcel them out and sell them, or if you want to keep them as part of the overall footprint of the property.
If we sell them, where does that money go?
Conservation's reserve, no, I don't
General
know.
fund.
It goes into the general fund.
I don't think we wanna sell them. I think we
No.
I'm just saying, if we do,
I
where
think
does
you
that
just
money
keep it as
go?
part of, I think you honestly, I don't think we sell them. I think we keep it as part of the overall Hitchcock plan like we have been with the properties we've already taken. I mean, we've got homes that we've had to fix up and, we rent them out.
Up
There's
there at
opportunity.
Hitchcock, we've done one.
That one's gonna be done for here probably in 4 months.
Which one?
The Radkey winter property,
Okay.
they're moving out,
Are they?
yeah, and we're not gonna rent
That's
that out
pretty
again.
ratty, ain't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
We
Matt,
gotta
the,
throw a match on it?
The accept on the legal description, is that what that was?
Yeah, I kinda agree with you, that's probably what that was, yeah.
Half of a road. Okay. I would like to make sure we verify that.
Okay. He maintains that entire road going down there, and he's supposed to collect money from the adjacent landowners
Who is that?
to help maintain that. Corby.
No, who's the adjacent landowner, you
I
know?
think there's 5 homes along there.
Yeah, Moran's,
Moran's help too.
Rail.
so it's a
Oh, no,
private-
please.
it's a private road?
Yeah, from the bridge in, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's not county maintained once you get over that bridge, that, well,
So once
is
you
this two
cross
bridges or one bridge?
Pigeon Creek, it's a private road.
Yeah.
But it's
To the
not,
left, when you turn there.
yeah,
Yeah, you go over Pigeon Creek,
because we just built that bridge.
and then as soon as you turn and go up towards the ski hills, it's private.
I mean, what's it,
What kind of, is it gonna be that big a deal for us to run our maintainer from one side to the other? I mean, is it really gonna
We
affect
did
us?
talk about seal coating that road in the future.
No, we just tell John, run it.
Yeah.
Have his guys are right there.
You're welcome, old lady rail, whatever. Isn't she the mean one up there?
Is she what?
Isn't she the one that's kind of nuts and mad at everybody?
She's nuts.
Matt, I don't really have any issues with anything else on here. I'm not crazy about the June 30th day, really not.
I'm not either, but
same,
if it is
I
what it
mean, I
is.
don't know why you would wanna keep it until June 30th. I really don't.
She probably just figured it'd be the end of our fiscal year and called it, you know?
I don't think he's smart enough to
If we can
figure that
change it,
out.
Deb
do
is
it.
though.
Huh?
Deb
Hey,
is.
If it's a big
That's
deal,
probably why.
don't make it stop the
Well, no, I
process.
mean, I'd say we just, I mean, depending on your vote, assuming that you're authorizing it, and we're gonna be done with that today, I'll just tell her the board would appreciate an amendment that gets it earlier than, we could do an addendum to the lease and have it be shorter than that. I mean, I'm not saying he will or will not do that, but I will, what does it hurt to ask?
So I don't think it's our only exposure, but, so our exposure is, anything above $3,000 this season.
And he has to talk with us on anything
Right.
above 3.
I mean, that's it, I mean,
He has to negotiate in good faith. He can't just say, oh, hey, I'm gonna go buy a new ski lift and it's gonna cost, I don't know what that would cost if you have to do that.
No, good faith is that ski lift is in great working condition, is what his good faith is right now.
Well, we don't have the reports that you're supposed to have.
I know that he's worked on it and they've had some special
We all
piece
know.
made on it.
Yeah.
And if he wants to rent it out next year, I'm pretty sure he's gonna make sure it still works.
Yeah, it's apparently required, I mean, it's required to have a yearly inspection. And so that requires there's some load test where they have to put it at 110% capacity and make sure that it runs, even with that. So, I mean, Deb has represented to me that she's getting those reports and that she's seen them and that's, that we have them.
Will he have the liability through the season then?
Yep.
He has insurance.
Mark, are you,
Has the insurance?
comfortable with the, equipment list?
Yeah, and he's taken a bunch, he has quite a bit of the crappy stuff taken off of there. So, yeah, and he has
So what do you want from us today, man?
I guess what I'm looking for is that we come out of closed set, that you authorize it, that you all have that discussion and authorize the consummation or authorize the chairman to sign the purchase agreement and the lease.
We, just for the sake of, because he did ask that we keep it kind of hush. I don't think he's ready for it to go public, so.
Well, it's not closed yet technically, so I think obviously we have to, this is a closed session that becomes unclosed
So we can-
once the, once
Agreements,
the agreements once they're done and it's, the deal is closed. So, I mean, I think you're entitled to keep it confidential until that point.
Right.
And then.
But first of the year, it's gonna
How do we
have to be,
Well, I think we just ask him.
If we make a motion to sign an agreement in open session, that makes it public.
yeah, I wish I need to see
So what I'm
the-
asking, so I
Yeah,
can
what do
finish
you
my,
want?
let me finish what I wanna do. I would like to ask that we name it by the parcel number. It's still public, we're not lying, we're not hiding anything.
So when we go public, how do we do that?
We just say that we are agreeing to purchase, agreeing, the chairman
No,
to sign
no,
the
no,
purchase
no.
agreement.
When it all comes, when it's all signed and everything,
That's when Corby asked us to go public, is once the deal's been made. He just wanted us to wait up until that point. Cause he
and
didn't
then
want
we
all
do
of
it as
his,
a board.
he doesn't want his employees piecing out. So I think we,
Well, I don't want us piecing it out as a
Do
board.
you want me to reach out to Deb and find out if there's any issue with it being public today?
could, yeah.
I mean, I don't care, I'm just saying that's an
Well,
easy.
it's not really gonna go public today unless somebody,
Well, there's some
When we
assholes.
make a motion in
Some
open,
asshole, well, even if we list the parcel number, someone's gonna. be
well, it's
here.
not, it's being recorded, it's
Do you even have
not.
to list the parcel number? Can't you just do, like, approve
Why
what was
are we-
agreed upon in
why
closed
do we-
session?
why do we care?
I
I mean, what really, why?
Mitch is right, there's plenty of times you made a motion to
When I'll be
approve
honest,
what
when
was
I-
discussed in closed
Close
session.
this?
That's what Leanne has had us do recently.
I just,
But, you know,
Part of my
we're gonna ask
negotiation-
the,
fuck it, I don't wanna talk, forget it.
we're gonna ask the chairman to sign the agreement.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't really give a shit if they know about it or they don't.
Is Deb still around?
Fuck everybody in town, everybody knows about it.
Can I
Are you
just?
meeting on the
I know
28th?
It's a pain, but I'm in the middle of
Yes,
a
we
closed
are.
session with the board. Can I just talk to her for 30 seconds?
I don't know,
Just
you know, you
very
might
good.
wait and find out what Deb's got to say about that June 30th date.
Before we asked,
By
when we
then.
were doing the negotiation, I talked to him about not releasing this until basically the absolute latest date, which would have been once we take possession. That was, I personally feel like in good faith, the way that I negotiated this with him,
You know,
that's what we
we've
should do.
gone we've been over backwards for Corby.
Now we're back to, I hate Corby again, like,
No,
no offense,
I'm
man,
not.
but like,
I'm not. But
you do though, and you keep bringing it up.
So how do we?
How do
We
do it?
have. I mean, the guy got another 1.3 million out of us. The hell? Or 1.4, whatever it was. And then what? How do we do it publicly then? How do we let people know?
I think we do a press release when it's time.
As a board?
It comes from the board of supervisors to all the public at
As
the
a
same
board,
time.
we do that as a board. That's what I wanna hear.
The press release from the board of supervisors comes from all of us.
I-
So like. it would
I
always be
understand, but
that. What are you worried about?
what am I worried about? I think we do it as a board.
Board wants to know, we're trying to
Yeah,
figure out.
why are you worried that it wouldn't be that way?
I don't understand what you're getting at.
I'm not getting anything other than we do it as a board.
If Scott Belt signs this agreement, Justin,
Tough for me to.
and we don't
sign
have
off
minutes
on.
that say that,
I'm not disagreeing with
we
you.
all go to jail.
And I don't wanna do that.
I'm not saying lie or cheat or do anything wrong. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying we also don't have to offer all the information.
Even though
Do
you
need to wait
give
for me, or do you
Scott
wanna just
permission
tell
to
us?
sign it, that's no guarantee that the other guy's gonna sign
Leave it that way.
And it won't be
Some asshole
signed
wants to take
until.
the time to go out there and find a way to figure out what those properties are, which I highly doubt will happen. We're still following the law.
What do we?
It's kinda like, you
do
don't
we
lie to your wife, but you also don't volunteer information you don't
Do
necessarily
it
need to.
next, do it next Tuesday? Make the
You know my
motion
wife.
to sign it next Tuesday,
She'll kick my ass.
put it
I-
on next Tuesday's agenda?
No, I think that, we can make a motion when we come out of closed session and say that, I'll make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the agreement that was discussed in closed session.
The purchase agreement.
I'm not gonna use purchase agreement, I'm just gonna say agreement.
Yeah.
Let
I
it
don't
go with
think there's
that.
anything wrong with that. I just think what,
I think you can do that, I'm sorry, I'm just listening to Rumble. I mean, I think you can do that too, but if he doesn't care, then we don't have to worry about it. Unless
if
it's
he
an
doesn't
issue
care, I
for
think we
you.
just roll out a press release today saying that it happened. It's over. We don't have to deal with it.
Until it's inked on the other side.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think
Until
there's
it's
anything
inked on the
third.
other side and actually closed, we don't own it.
Yeah, I mean, sort of the reason, right, is that you're allowed to keep real estate negotiations and all these things confidential as long as you can, is so
Till it's
that,
signed.
yeah, until it's done, so that nothing happens that, you know, messes the deal up, you know, so.
Which
I
we
mean,
don't
I feel
wanna do.
comfortable, if you're asking for my legal advice, can you say, authorize him to sign the agreement we discussed in closed session? Yes, I believe you can.
Would be wasting this.
But as soon as the, you know, the closing date happens on December 31st, I think that that is done. I mean, I think at that point it has to be public and then this, you know, becomes an open session.
Okay.
Because the whole point is that you don't want to allow somebody else to come in and mess up, either jack prices up or mess up your deal. I mean, maybe if somebody caught wind that we were gonna buy it, they got upset and they want to come in and offer, you know, a whole bunch of extra money. That would never happen.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go out of closed session.
Okay.
I'll second.
Do a motion in a second,
Just let her go because I don't care anymore.
roll call.
Supervisor Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner, Chairman Bell, Supervisor Shea.
Yeah.
Wickman, Schultz, Murray.
Hey.
All right, are we off, Melvin?
Before you make that motion, Tim, just remember you got two agreements there.
Okay.
You have the purchase,